Have you ever thought that I should have this, I should know better, I know I should do this, I know I should complete that so I can get where I want to go, but sometimes it feels like it's too hard. Has anyone ever felt like that? I believe one of the most powerful things in our life that we can have is vision. I think vision is the leading thing that we need to have in order us to take the amazing steps so we can have the life and business that we desire. No more having this year look like last year and keep getting the same results season after season after season. And after rainy seasons, after winter seasons, the sun comes out, unless you're living in Washington. Rain season follows rain season, right? But what I want to share with you is actually how Naaman, who was the go-to, he was a general in the army, and he was able to do strategies and structure and win victories, much like you. And when he does that, people look to him. He's the go-to person. They know anything he's putting his mind to is going to work. But he also was suffering from leprosy. And in this of him suffering in leprosy, I'm sure there were some things that he was insecure about, but there was an opportunity for him to get healing. So he got this advice from his wife's maid. And when he actually went onto this journey, he had all these things in his mind of how things should go. So when Elijah sent his servant out, instead of Elijah being present, he sent his servant out and said, "You're supposed to dip yourselves 7 times in the Jordan River." Naaman did it. No, he didn't. He did not. Naaman actually got frustrated. He said, "You should be coming out. I surely thought you were going to come out and wave your hands over me and make this big old thing and call God down and heal me." Then he even said, "Do you have me dip into the Jordan River, not the rivers of Damascus, which are cleaner?" Oh, he was so mad that he left without his healing because it did not make sense to him. It didn't make sense to him that this was the path that was going to get the results that he very much desired. Very skeptical because he's used to doing strategies. So when he gets advice again to say, "No, trust this man of God, his word, and go back and do it." So then he went and he dipped himself, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, but he dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan River and he came out healed. So why am I sharing that story with you? The reason why is because there's 4 things for you really to start enjoying your life and business now that most of us overlook because we are used to the complexity of life, thinking decision making is hard, and it's a skill that we haven't even learned and acquired fully. We learn not to trust ourselves. We go around asking people for their opinion when God has given us this vision of what to do. Then we go and ask permission for other people, like, "Do you think this is?" Most likely they say, "No, that's so silly." I've experienced that. I've experienced people saying, what are you thinking? But it's not for them to say, God gave you that vision. So the reason why your year is looking the same and your season is looking the same year after year and you're getting frustrated because you're not making any progress is because you're not doing these 4 main things in your life right now. And Naaman almost missed it because he was going in the opposite direction. So what I will actually like to bring this in is that your success is in seed form. It's in a very small form. It's in the very small actions that you need to take, but they make the biggest reward. So the first thing I've already mentioned was vision. You need to have a vision for yourself and for your life, not someone else's vision for you. Because a lot of things that you've operated all the way to now is because you wanted to please your parents because it's always been this way, or you got what you could in the time that you had, and you've said that I'm only going to work here 3 or 5 years, and now you're going in your 10th, 12th year after you already said you're only going to be here for a little bit just to get back on your feet. So you have to get clear on the vision that you have for your life. And how you do that is that you sit with yourself. You sit with yourself and get that clarity. And you do a vision board. You get excited. You use all your senses, right? God's given these gifts as our senses. And use that to get your vision really, really clear. The home you want, the clothes you want to wear, the relationships you want to have. Even though it's not here yet. It is here, but it's not in the physical. So just like Naaman, he had to get a vision, listening from the maidservant, that, okay, maybe this man does know what he's talking about. I'm going to go ahead and try it out. So he went. And then he got the second part. He got the instructions. He didn't follow the instructions because a lot of us are not used to submitting to the simplicity of instructions. We make things harder than it needs to be. but let it be easy. Let earning money be easy. Let love be easy for you. And you have to say these things and believe these things about it for you, for your life. Because once you do, you unlock so many opportunities and so many things to propel you forward in a very, very mighty way. Very mighty way. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited that you can tap into that. And this is stuff, sometimes you think, well, I don't have the money to invest in my business. I don't have the money. I haven't even talked about money. Naaman didn't spend any money. He brought money with him, but he didn't have to pay Elijah with an S. I always say those names wrong. But he didn't have to pay him, but he came prepared for what he knew. And he had to let down his expectation. Because the reason why Naaman didn't get his healing right away is because his expectation was blocking him. What he expected, assumed to happen, blocked him from actually getting his healing and getting that miracle. Same thing for you. The things that got you here is not going to get you to the next level, but you are getting advice from that past self, those past successes that you're saying, oh, well, if I do this and this like last time, or when I failed last time, now you're letting those expectations take rulership and ownership of your future. You do not have to continue that. You can receive and accept the simplicity of the instructions, no matter how simple it seems. So it's the same thing when you're planting a seed in the ground. The seeds aren't just thrown in your hand. When you get them from a store, they're in a package. They're to show you what is the potential of this happening. So it's the same thing for yourself. The vision that you have for yourself, and you've done a vision board or you've written your vision, I recommend doing both. You've done a vision board, you've written your vision, and this is the potential of your life. This can happen. However, there's some right action steps that you need to take with this, and submitting to the simplicity that you're going to get instructed after, because you're not worried about the how right now. We're getting very clear on what needs to happen, and the how is going to come unique to your path and who you're supposed to help and serve. Because I know you want to make an impact. I know you want to give your family a freedom that you didn't have growing up. That desire is there because that's from God for you to bring forth, because you are a willing vessel, but you're allowing your expectation to get in the way of how things should be. This isn't working because this is not looking like how I thought it's supposed to look. So when you submit to the simplicity of instructions, you open your world. You open your world, and really the things that seem impossible become possible for you. Is it seem impossible to dip yourself just 7 times in the Jordan River and be healed? Yes, but submit to the simplicity of the steps, no matter how little they are. It may be to make the phone call. It may be to answer a text. It may to say, hey, yes, I'm available for this date, and not let your fear and expectation get in the way of that. So the third part of that is you actually so Naaman, he went, he dipped himself, and then he was excited and he was rejoicing. Your energy has to change behind your vision. You can't be so focused in sight of what's not happening and let that determine your mood. So just like if you planted a seed in the garden, my grandparents own a farm. So just when you plant, you don't look at it and say, oh, it's never going to grow once you plant it. No, you know there's a process. There's an incubation period for the success to happen. And all of it varies. Carrots vary from apple trees, lemon trees. They all have a different incubation period. Just like mammals in different animals, we have a different incubation period as humans versus a dog, where they have multiple puppies, right? Versus an elephant who holds their baby for 22 to 24 months. So there's different incubation periods, but you only know that when you receive that, right? And you're aware, because the prerequisite to wisdom is actually ignorance. And the bridge to that is your awareness that, okay, this is what's happening. Let me finish focusing on the end picture. So with that too, when you are coming into your life and you are getting very clear about what you want and you desire, understand that when you set your intentions, disruption does follow. When you say yes, it's an acronym. Your elevation starts. And when your elevation starts, just like an airplane, sometimes there's turbulence, your ears pop, there's some discomfort. Know that's happening, but do not use that excuse to go backwards and go back to the familiar. Make the new things you want to experience familiar. And how you do that is you get clear about your vision. Allow that to get familiar for you. Allow you to touch the car and test drive the car. Allow yourself to be in the presence in those rooms. Allow yourself to even drive past the restaurants that you want to go, or the shopping malls you want to go to. Allow yourself to go into the communities, just driving the communities like, this is where I'm going to be speaking. Allow yourself to look at things and get familiar, and your brain is saying, okay, this is normal. This is normal, not what I'm currently living through. For the power of your success in your life is you getting really clear that you are going to already submit to the simplicity of instruction. You're going to have a vision for yourself. You're going to take time each day to meditate on that vision, because you're meant to have success. You need to believe that you're designed for success. No matter what it looks like, you have to focus on what is the end picture. Okay. And know that things are going to be incubated, but you need to have the right action steps in order for that to happen. That means watering it. That means tilling the ground. That means doing some work, not in vain, but with excitement, not with, oh, this isn't going to happen. You have to come with that energy that I'm working through faith. This is going to work because I see it. I earn $100,000 a month. I earn $1 million years. I am able to help in the community. I'm able to help my family. I'm able to shift poverty mindset. No longer am I ever going to be broke again. So you have to get very clear about your picture. So your actions, your words, everything about you is aligning with that. It's not aligning with your past, but it's aligning with your present and your future. Your past is your past. And the same thing, even in your past successes, your past failures, that is your past. Because Naaman tried to bring, because he's very strategic, for him to be victorious, he had to release his past of how he thinks strategy should go and how things should go, his expectations. It's the same thing for you. Release those expectations. God has so much more for you. He has so much more for you. And once you release that and do the simplicity, the last thing he told you to do, you will see other things that is possible for you and who else you're going to be influencing as well. Because a lot of your miracles are not just for you. It's to influence the masses. And that's what you're designed to. You're here for a reason. You're listening to all these wonderful women, all these speeches, all these stories, all these amazing things. And you find yourself in all of these. And you're thinking, well, I think I can do this. You can do this. You got to get clear. You got to have that believability about yourself that this is possible for you, because your success isn't just a small action step. It could be dipping yourself 7 times. It could be forgiveness, forgiving yourself, because a lot of times you're not forgiving yourself because now you know better, and now you're judging your past self because now you know better. Forgive her. Forgive your parents. They didn't know what they knew. If they knew better, they would have done better. But they didn't know, and just believe that they did the best they could with what they had. Release them. Release that ex. Release that old coworker, that old boss. Release them. Release them. That may be the small seed in your success. The world is yours. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. And I'm excited to see what you're going to be accomplishing.